Hey there, I'm Wolfwind, and if you're new here, well, I've got something special for you. I was actually able to pick up a Switch 2. Now, I just wanted to take a minute and give you my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on it. As you can probably tell, I'm a fan of handhelds. I really like them. From the Game Boy, the 3DS, yes, even the PlayStation Vita. I've even got the Steam Deck, and I've had a couple of Switches now. So, what do I think? Well, we'll find out in this video.
Wolfwind.
So, before we get started picking up the Nintendo Switch, I was not able to pre-order anything. A lot of people had an issue with getting pre-orders in, and unfortunately, I was one of them. However, quite a few stores, including the Best Buy near me, had midnight release events where I was able to wait in line without a pre-order and walk out with a Nintendo Switch 2. And I was able to get the bundle. I was pretty happy about this. And Nintendo is known for not supplying or not enough to meet demand, and this seems to be a case where they did the exact opposite. They were prepared for this, and I really appreciated it. Now, does it have a spot on my table here? Does it belong here? Well, yeah, it does. It's Nintendo. And this thing is a huge, huge difference over the Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's a big adjustment over the Switch OLED. But if you're still rocking an original Switch, the difference is even bigger. And I don't just mean in size. I'm talking graphics, I'm talking borders, and even the LCD screen, which I know some people are upset that they just didn't do an OLED again. But this is a really good LCD screen. So, is it worth getting day one? That totally depends on what games you want to play. But Mario Kart is an excellent game, and I think it was smart for them to get this game. Let me explain. Most people, they get a single game with a new console, and that is usually how something like that starts. They didn't do that this time. Like when you get your single game, the Switch launched with Breath of the Wild. Everybody was playing Breath of the Wild, but we were playing it alone. And a lot of the cool features of the Switch is that ability to play locally with your friends. And that's not shown off unless you picked up another game. Now, I think Mario Kart was great because anybody who had an original Switch wanted to play this game. It was their most popular selling game on the Switch was Mario Kart 8. So releasing the new one on this new system was really smart. And on top of that, it being multiplayer focused allowed them to show off game chat, really give people a game that would, utilize this at launch and get people playing together. You'd invite your friends over, you'd play with your kids, you'd play with your spouse, significant other. And that was smart. And yeah, you're going to want a single player game where it's just, you, and you're going to pick that up secondary. But the social aspect of this machine was a focal point that Nintendo I wanted to focus on, and they did a really good job with it. So what else is different? Well, the kickstand for one. Now, the Switch 1's kickstand was absolutely awful. It came off a lot, and it fell down a lot. I have this set up on a table to where if the kickstand does happen to fall during recording, it's not falling off my table because that's a genuine concern I have. Is it better than the OLED? I don't think so. I mean, that thing is solid. And while it's still plastic, and yes, this is the Legend of Zelda OLED, I just have different Joy-Cons on it. This is, if I'm not mistaken, metal. It might feel kind of, I don't know, almost like it could bend or break, but the metal is showing to be a little bit more durable than I originally thought. And for that, I'm really happy. Joy-Cons. Again, your Switch 1, those Joy-Cons wiggle a lot, even if you were careful with your Switch like I was. Now, my Switch OLED, I have been even more careful with. I've kept it in a satisfied grip, so there hasn't been a lot of play on this. but this still has just that little bit of wiggle, which can make you nervous. Now, however, this is very much together. Now, you're going to feel a little bit of movement here, but that connector piece right in there where these hook up is actually made to move. So you're not going to need to worry about snapping it off because the whole board in there is made to move. Now, that is shown off in the, what was it called? The Intro to the Switch game. The one that should have been packed in, but for some reason is $10. But it's pretty cool. And this time, instead of rails, which the rails were cool, don't get me wrong. I think they had a purpose. I think they were smart. It was elegant. My biggest fear, which luckily never happened, was that these clicks would give out and the console would eventually drop right off of the Joy-Cons. That didn't happen. But this time, we've got magnets. There's a big release button, and it just pops off. Now, you don't have to angle it in like that. You can just hit it straight on. I just find for lining it up, it's easier to do that angle like it wanted to. The bigger screen is quite beautiful, and what I find funny is everybody complained, this isn't pocketable, this isn't travelable, you know, it's too big. And you know what? Okay, maybe. But now we're used to things like the Steam Deck, and this just feels like another normal handheld. You're going to throw it in a cover case, and you're probably going to throw it in the back of a bag. I've enjoyed handheld for a long time. Whether it's the Game Boy, the DS, Game Boy Color, SP, 3DS, Vita. I know that's controversial. The Game Boy Color, the 3DS, I have definitely spent the most time with. But the other thing is I bought a Steam Deck. And I got it as soon as I could. This thing, for a long time, was the Switch Pro that we all wanted. Or at least I wanted. And I still find it completely worthwhile to play modern games. Even though there's a lot of things you're going to give up. Being able to play with your friends or start and stop and just that constant pause is great. I mean, a lot of us have families and stuff that goes on. And being able to sit in the communal areas and be able to do your thing and pause it at a moment's notice is a total game changer versus having to turn on a whole machine, boot the whole thing up, you know, sit somewhat in isolation, worry that nobody's going to, you know, touch a button on the keyboard and who knows what. This is nice. Are these basically the same thing? I'm not 100% sure yet. This still has a place. And I think the Switch 2's place is somewhere completely different. There's a lot of controversy going on around this game, and who knows if it's going to succeed or fail. I'm not here to be negative, and I'm not here to be overly positive either. I'm here to give my thoughts on what I think. I'm having a lot of fun with it. My kids are having a lot of fun with it. The experience is smooth. The graphics are nice. The different animations are really neat. The fact that we've been playing Mario Kart and in a way almost could feel to death. If this was Mario Kart 8, I'd be bored already. And I'm still finding new paths to take. Mario Kart World is an excellent game. Is it worth $80? That's a totally different question. But bundled in 50, 60, and even if they wanted to charge 70, it's worth it. And if $80 seems like too much, then it's not a game for you. If you're like, man, I want to play it, but I don't want to pay that much, that's totally fair. I think that Nintendo was trying something new, and for whatever reason, they really decided, hey, you know what, this game is worth $80. Whether or not you agree with that, you vote with your dollar, because you have every right to. Definitely worth the pack-in price. The load times are a lot faster, and I have taken some time to play Breath of the Wild with the upgrades, and it runs better. It's not a graphical increase or anything, but it's performance-based, and it's nice. It's genuinely nice to have those solid frame rates. The best way I can describe it is this machine is what nostalgia goggles would make this feel like. If you played this right at the beginning and thought it was really cool and then kind of put it down and never picked it up, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember the Switch. That was awesome. You're probably remembering it behaving more like this than how it actually is. 720, 15 to 30 frames if you're lucky in a lot of games. 1080p, 60 frames, really smooth. This is like the full realized version of the original Switch, and handheld gaming, being able to take things places, is great. So the other thing was how it was packaged. That turned out to be a problem because people were actually stapling receipts to the cover of these boxes. Now, as a collector, I don't want holes punctured in my box to begin with. That's just a no-go for me. But the problem people had was the console went right here. Screen up, matter of fact. So if you stapled anywhere here, you could punch through that screen. And people will say, well, Nintendo, why the heck did you have it sitting on all three sides near an edge of the box? I mean, it could get damaged in shipping. It could get something stacked on top of it. Who the heck knows? Why would they do this? Well, probably because they've gotten away with it before. Legend of Zelda Switch OLED. We go ahead and we crack this sucker open, and we'll find it's nothing new. Tablet, upper, thin cardboard at the top, three sides on all edges. And there wasn't a whole lot of problems of reports. So what's going on here? Well, some people just like to see somebody fail. And that does not mean that these concerns are not valid, because they always are. You know, people's concerns about whether something's going to be good or bad or done with the best of intentions, you know, do matter. But it's happened before, and we didn't see this outcry. Some people might be just tired of hearing about the Switch or the successor to the Switch, because we've been looking forward to this for a long time. And I think that some people are like, okay, I'm tired of hearing about this. Let's just point out all the flaws and put it to bed. I'm done with it. That's fine. I can take this anywhere, and I can play it. I can put it in the car, and we can play as a family. Granted, there's some extra stuff you might want to get, but the console is really good. The faster storage, the 1080p, let's talk about that for just a split second. This console right here, 1080p display, 60 frames, some games 120. When it's docked, unlike with your original Switch or Switch OLED, the dock actually does something. Up to 4K, 60 frames. That's a good deal. And genuinely, what more could you want from it? The HDR is really good. Your mileage may vary on what you're used to or what your eyes are used to. I'm not here to speak for you for that. But the thing runs well. It charges slow, and the battery life isn't all that long. However, I think we're in a day and age where we kind of expect that now. The days of a 12-hour car ride, batteries having to last you with no plug in sight, those are kind of bygone days. And they still happen, and there are certain circumstances where that would still come in handy. But let's face it, most cars have some kind of plug in them now. A lot of people have power banks, and we have power banks that can power up quite a bit. So I think it's a battery life, battery to performance balance, and they went performance heavy on it, but it's not an unplayable battery. It's not an unacceptable battery. This is a good console. I enjoy it. I enjoy that the controllers just come off. I enjoy that my original Switch games work on it, and a lot of them work better. Backwards compatibility isn't 100%, and okay, fine. How many games were backwards compatible from the PS4 to with the PS3, or the PS3 up to the PS4? Right, none of them. Xbox did an excellent job with their backwards compatibility, but that tends to be the outlier. Nintendo tries. GameCube to Wii was backwards compatible. Wii U, Wii to Wii U was backwards compatible. Now, you couldn't do that with the Switch. The Switch had to start all brand new and all over again because there's no spot for a disc in this thing. That's all right. But people are like, oh, you got to rebuy it. This is awful. Yeah, you know what? That's how console gaming goes. And if you're a PC person and that's what you like and you want power, this is not the console for you. If you want to not be critical of every single thing and you're willing to overlook some stuff, okay? Because that's any console. Even if you play an older console like PS4 or Xbox One, you're gonna start to notice, hey, look, that's not the same as the newest, latest, and greatest. That's okay though. You can get lost in it. And the thing is you can take this anywhere. I can't pick up my PS4 and take that wherever I want. I can take this wherever I want. I can't pick up my PS5 and haul that sucker into the bathroom. I mean, some people could, but I can't. Feels pretty good in the hands. That nice big Switch 2. Buttons feel good. Joysticks feel good. Whether or not they will drift like the old ones, only time's going to tell. And that is the cost of being an early adopter. Does anyone need to go out and get this day one? No. But if you want to, I think it's a good purchase. And that comes down to where you see Nintendo going. Nintendo did really well with these. Third-party support came in and really helped out Nintendo. And I think that could happen again. Obviously, nothing is known for certain. But if you like portable, if you like convenience on your time, and you like Nintendo games, there's no reason not to get this. Hey, there's not enough games out that I want right now, so I'm going to wait. Okay, not a problem. Go ahead. The idea that everybody needs to get it day one is foolhardy, and don't feel like you're missing out. This is the first ever console I got day one. But I also know myself, and I really enjoy handhelds. And you can see behind me, I have home consoles. I like home consoles. I even have more than boxes on the shelf here, but I don't have nearly the time to play them anymore. If I want to play games, it's going to be here. And the nice thing I found out is, for most of the gaming, doing it handheld, I can still get lost in it. And for those big moments or near the end of the game or whatever the case may be, that's when I can dock up. So how do these two things stack? Well, it depends on what you play. Witcher 3 looks amazing on here, and it runs really well. Witcher on here doesn't look so good because it's a Switch 1 game. I would love to get my hands on Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch 2 edition and compare it directly to here, because I played that game mostly on the Steam Deck, and I enjoyed it. It looked like a 360 game, an Xbox 360 game, but it was a good time. And a lot of my games that I can play on here, I would go such a long time without playing that this gives me those little play spurts in between those big sit-down sessions. You came here for the Switch 2, and I'm betting you want to know more. Well, 1080p, 60 frames, up to 120, magnetic Joy-Cons, a mouse mode. The system knows if you take this and you face it down. Now, I would say this needs a case or almost a grip or something, and I'm sure companies are going to start pouring those out, so I'm not too worried about it. But there's a mouse mode, and we'll see how well that gets and how well that performs. But it allows for some creativity that maybe we haven't seen for a while. And that's the other thing about handheld games is creativity. Limitations spawn creativity. And that is what handhelds are. They're limited. They're limited in what they can do. They're limited in what they can run. But I know most of us, the dream has always been, oh, I wish I could get home console on the go. And you know what? This is as close. Something like this or this may be as close as we ever get. Sure, things will get better, but they're always going to be just a little bit behind. Then again, a lot of us play games on our phones. You have Hearthstone, you have Magic, you have Call of Duty, you have Warzone, you have a lot of games, Tetris, Candy Crush, whatever the case may be, that's mobile gaming. Whether you like it or not, this is a better version of that. This is way better than what I can do on my phone, and it's dedicated. And I have controllers for my phone. I can easily strap a controller on. But there is something isolating about just playing with just a handheld. If I take this and I turn it on and I open it up and I'm playing a game and I get a text message, well, I'm going to stop the game. I get a phone call or I need to check maps or, hey, look at that, my battery's low. I might need this for an emergency. Let's just turn this off at 30%. I'll play this till it's dead. And it's a gaming, it's a game device, the game console. I'm not going to do anything else on it other than game. So I'm going to run until the battery's dead. I love the color scheme here. Obviously, I went with gray Joy-Cons the first time around because I felt like the colors were really, really loud. I don't mind the blue and purple Zelda. They're kind of subtle, and they're colorful, but they're not loud. Here, they're gray with just that little bit of color around the edge. I feel like it's in moderation and it's well done. The console overall feels really well made. I mean, the back is extremely thick. The screen feels good. I'm pretty sure this is glass, and I'm pretty sure it's a glass screen protector. But the overall machine feels really, really hefty in the hands. I mean, look at that thing. I feel like I could just crunch this in my hands. I mean, this thing is tiny in comparison. Now it almost seems pocketable. But this feels beastly. It has got a lot of heft to it, and that's because there's a lot in here. So if you're thinking about picking up a Switch or a Switch 2, I think it's worth it. Nintendo has a future here. Game key cards versus what you can get, on the cartridge or whatever, that's a discussion for another time. Is the console worth $500? What kind of gamer are you? Are you the type that sits down and has hours to play in front of a TV? Then this may not be the console for you. It still could be. It does the TV stuff very well. But if you're like, I want power, more power, then it's not. And that's totally all right too. But if you're like a lot of people where they're like, man, I love gaming, but I don't get to do it nearly as much as I used to. Lunch breaks. Getting to work a few minutes early, sitting in your car. Getting out of work, for a few minutes while the kids watch TV. Sitting there and being able to play the game, with the volume down while your significant other watches a movie that you're just not interested in. So you're still there together. And that's, if, they're okay with that. It's great for those things. Playing with your kids, Nintendo has always been one of the best at that. Local co-op is a focus on here. That has fallen away with the PS5. It fell away with the Xbox One. And having to buy multiple systems to have multiple people play together who are in the same room is ridiculous to me. And I feel like there is at least an effort to have local co-op on this thing. And that's a huge focus of it, and that's a huge bonus. So, yeah, I definitely think this is worth it. I'm excited to see where Nintendo goes, and I am really hopeful for what's in the future. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Nothing is without its downfalls, but there's a lot of pluses here also. Decide if it's for you. Take a look, watch reviews, and listen to both sides. But the most important thing is have fun. We all have, anyone who's been gaming a long time has a game that they enjoy that maybe their friends didn't, and they can't even really explain why they enjoy it. This may very well be one of those things for you, where your friends can't get into it and you can. It's about having fun, and that was Nintendo's focus for the long time. Games don't have to be a powerhouse. They have to be fun. Fun first. So, pick it up. Wait to pick it up. I still think it's worth it, and I don't think you'll be disappointed if you do. And if I'm wrong, I am really sorry that I was wrong in your case. But you know the type of person you are. If this fits in with your lifestyle and this is right up your alley, then go ahead and get it. And don't feel bad because other people decide they hated it. It's a good console. And I think time is going to show that it is, in fact, favorable. So I'll be excited to see where this goes, and I'll be excited to talk about the future events with you guys. So if you like this video, please leave a like and comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you see new videos coming out. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.